Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Wednesday, September the 5th, and this is the market overview. Looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and all the rest. Most notably, Apple and GE. Okay. Well, it was rather quiet today in the markets. Dow up 11.5 points. Which was pretty darn amazing considering that FedEx lowered guidance for the rest of the year last night, and that is a really, really bad sign. So anyways, bulls win on the Dow side, not on the SPX side, which we'll see in a moment. And here we are with the Dow, still fighting it out with the long-term moving average bar, starting to do damage to it. Not major yet, but just in the early phases of it. Ending with a inverse hammer. Doesn't really do anything for us at this moment, but still inside the long-term moving average bar. Good sign for the bears. Closing below the lower price consensus level for the new month. Also good for the bears. 14-day RSI moving average still moving down, along with the MACD still moving down. Not bad. But we do have an uptick on the MACD histogram, tick up on the RSI, tick up on the CCI, and the stochastics are mixed. So, overall, actually slightly more positive than negative, which it's okay. It's in the support area, and that's all right. It's supposed to stop it. It's supposed to slow it down. And that's exactly what's happening. Lower Bollinger Band creeping down, giving it more room to move to the downside should that play out. Tomorrow is the ECB day. So important to see what happens with the euro. See how the bond buying plan is going to take shape. Could be extremely positive, could be extremely negative. And we aren't going to know until tomorrow, and it is definitely an NDE. NDEs trump all charts. What can you say? So 60-minute definitely, or at least slightly more positive than negative. 60-minute time frame, however, different story. We can see more formation of lower highs. And just knocking on this door at the lows. We've hit it a few times. Yeah, a few times recently in the last week. And will the third time be a charm? Should it go down to that point? Very, very possibly could. Beyond that, nothing in the heat map. And slanting down on the MACD histogram, going sideways on the MACD, going down on the RSI, going up on the CCI, going down on the stochastics, going down on the 14-day RSI moving average. Definitely more negative than positive in the 60-minute time frame. Just fighting it out with the long-term moving average bar and having problems. So all I'm waiting for is another move down. Once it breaks out of this low area, should be pretty straight shot at just shy of 12,800. So that's what I'm looking for. Wish it'd hurry up and do it, but it's just happy taking its sweet time. Now, SPX is different. The Dow definitely has a positive spin to it. And here we are with SPX. Down today, red candle, spinning top. MACD histogram moving down, different than the Dow. Down on the MACD. Down on the RSI, different. Mixed on the stochastics, down on the 14-day RSI moving average, and slightly up on the CCI. This is slightly different than the Dow, and it is slightly negative aspect to it. So very nice. We've not been doing damage or fighting that with the long-term moving average bar as of yet. Closing below the major price consensus level for the new month. still above the lower price consensus level. It'll be really, really interesting to see how it interacts with the long-term moving average bar once the two come into contact with one another. Unlike the Dow, this one just has not, it just has refused to touch it. And I would love to see a retest of the upper price consensus level from last month, just about the 1370 area. It seems impossible. I mean, they just refuse to let it close below 1400. I think that is probably the catalyst for that, but we shall see. 60-minute is definitely negative on SPX as well, just like the Dow. And going on to the VIX. Yeah, yesterday we had the red bar. Talked about going back for a retest of the long-term moving average bar. If we bounce off at that point, it is very, very bullish. And we came down into it today, pierced it a little bit, closed above it. We did not get a downtick today. So, so far, not expecting a deep close penetration into it to about the 1650 area. But not all is just dandy. So I have to be totally realistic and honest about that. Downtick on the MACD histogram, downtick on the CCI, down on the stochastics, sideways on the RSI, up on the MACD, up on the 14-day RSI moving average. This looks like it could get a secondary reset before it finishes its move to the upside. So that is entirely possible. It would have been much clearer with the downtick, but we didn't get that. So, very interesting to see. And TNA had that big move yesterday. Big move, which we noted still was shy of the previous highs, going back quite a ways. And today, unable to follow through. Just closing barely above where it closed yesterday. Red spinning top, indecision candle at the top of a possible small range. We do have the, well, essentially everything ticking up with the exception of the RSI. But things are already pretty darn high. It'll be really interesting to see this roll over. And we do have, well, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. 60-minute time frame. Is it like the Dow and SPX? Is it overdone? Well, it would appear that it's attempting to roll over in the 60-minute time frame. MACD pointing down, histogram sloping down, RSI sideways, down on the CCI, mixed on the stochastics. Only the 14-day RSI moving average looking pretty darn good for the 60-minute time frame. So overall more bearish than bullish, but it does need to take out this candle, which it is almost tapped twice. Actually, it has touched it twice. Needs a third touch and a breakdown, and then this one is finished in the short term. But until that happens, is this consolidation before it tries to jump up again? It is possible. And UUP, the dollar. We were hoping for an uptick on the dollar. It just did not happen. Did not retest the new low. It's possible that that'll need to occur before it goes up, but beyond that, still in the bottoming area. And histogram sloping up, positive divergence, and everything else is ticking down. So, I would love to see this one get a good bounce, but the euro is just phenomenal. How resilient it's been at wanting to stick to 1.26. Tomorrow ECB, definitely something is going to happen with that. Matter of fact, here it is. Here's the euro, and MACD histogram still ticking down, still making more negative divergence, but everything else is ticking up. Just it's just really is pretty darn phenomenal. Excessive separation, wobble, says all kinds of problems in it. Definitely needs to come down for a bar retest, but no signs of it doing that yet. And USO oil finally catching a little bit of a bid today, ending with a hammer. It hasn't got to the previous low yet. 14-day RSI moving average still stubbornly holding high. Stochastics mix, CCI down, RSI down, MACD down, MACD histogram down. I would love to see this one break down some, but just like everything, it's being supported really, really hard. And but when it breaks, I think everything's going with it, and it's just waiting game until that time. CompQ, the NASDAQ, not having a great day, not horrible, pretty darn mixed at this point. It kissed the major price consensus level for the new month, closed above it. Still problem in the heat map. 14-day RSI moving average still not down ticking, and mixed on the stochastics, up on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the MACD, down on the MACD histogram, slightly more negative than positive, but they just don't want to let it go. And Apple, actually, slightest of slightest downticks today. Not going to mean much. Takes it down to the major price consensus level for the new month, which happens to be 662. Not much of a fall from here, only $8. 14-day RSI moving average still moving up. Stochastics mixed, sideways on the CCI, down on the RSI. Looking for a bearish cross on the MACD histogram. It makes sense with the downtick down on the MACD, down on the MACD histogram. So looking for about $8 there, and then we'll see what it wants to do next. But yeah, it should do that. And GE, they were saying last night that GE was not looking too happy and not a good thing for the Dow. And today, able to fight its way back a little bit from the long-term moving average bar. It's starting to take a little bit of damage, but nothing major as of yet. Uptick on the MACD histogram, uptick on the RSI, uptick on the CCI. Stochastics mix, 14-day RSI moving average still pointing down, and the MACD still pointing down as well. Just normal fighting as you enter the long-term moving average bar. Nothing really big to note at this point. And GLD able to maintain its up movement, pretty darn good. Looking for a downtick. There is a bubble here. If we were to happen to get a downtick tomorrow, it would take us not quite to the upper price consensus level for the new month, but pretty close. And CCI down, RSI down, histogram down, everything else up. I do think that that's going to happen relatively quickly. I do. And SLV, also able to maintain. And it's identical to gold. What can you say? If we were to get a downtick tomorrow, it's going to take it to $30. JP Morgan, still fighting it out with the 200-day moving average. Look at that. Closing right above the major price consensus level for the new month. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down. Stochastics mixed. The fast still moving on up, along with the CCI, along with the RSI, down on the histogram. I'm sorry, down on the MACD and up on the histogram. We need a definitive move off of the 200. That's all that it comes down to. And XLF the financials as a whole. We have a doji telling us absolutely nothing. Fortune day RSI moving average moving up, stochastics mixed, up on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the MACD, and difficult to tell on the MACD histogram. It is very, very, very slightly down. Also not telling us much of anything. So we'll see what the news brings tomorrow, and it's just a push-pull at this moment. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.